Chris Brown was having a huge issue with getting himself back hot after the whole thing with Rihanna. Because at that time, the climate was different. This is before Rihanna came out and spoke on it. Don't get me wrong. I don't condone. I don't think I need to say this, but I don't condone no man beating a woman up or nothing like that necessarily. But at the time, his career, luckily it wasn't in the 90s because he wouldn't have survived it. But his career was in a huge downward turn. His PR, his public image at the time it wasn't good, right? And I remember on Media Takeout played this message that he left on his, I think it was like a fan club voicemail or some shit, where he was like, "Yo, my album is out. I need y'all to go support my album. You know, like I need y'all to go buy the album and listen to it and this and that." So this is in 2009, 2000. I believe the incident happened in 2008. Is it 2008 or 2009? One of those, right? And ironically, too, at that time, Chris Brown was as hot as you can possibly be in terms of like, because at that point, this is coming off of the first album, and then he has the second album, which the first album did very very well. It was actually a very good album, but then he has the second album, which is mature. This is the post. I'm grown up now because when Chris Brown first came out, in terms of that first record he put out, that record came out when he was about 16, 15, 16. So the idea was that he was this child phenom. I remember my homeboy pointing out that every black boy, like every black boy has like a virtuoso and like R&B and whatnot. That's all based on Michael Jackson and his success. And they always trying to replicate like the dancing, the singing, and the looks and whatnot in a particular tone. And from Usher even down to Chris Brown and everything, right? So anywho, he was extremely hot back then, and also it was like unlimited opportunities. And then that fatal night with him and Rihanna. At the time, he was dating Rihanna, and him and Rihanna had an altercation. Later on, and again, not to say that she deserved to get beat up, but basically, she took ownership for the fact that she instigated the fight. And a lot of young men, that's how they fuck their lives up. Because they get with a woman around their age, and a lot of times, young men are not able to recognize this woman is toxic. This woman is confrontational, and men don't understand the concept of this power and victimhood. If I can put you in a position where I could blame you for me being in a bad position, so i.e. a situation with him and Rihanna, if y'all think for a second that sometimes women do not want to put you in a situation that they won't get you or coax you into her altercation just so they can say, "Look, you see that? You see, you know what I mean?" And that's went on there. I'm sorry, that's what went on there, right? So young men, in particular, like Chris Brown, they don't realize that's what's going on. They don't realize that fam, it's a trap. And if you're a young man, if you ever find yourself being around a woman who gets confrontational at all, who challenges you physically, first of all, don't be around a woman who's challenging you at all, especially in a way that's confrontational. Get as far away as possible, because what she wants is for things to get physical so she can get hanging over your head. Not only that, or it gives her the power to end your life. It gives her the power to say, "Yo, I'm calling the cops." She can weaponize any man on you, especially if she finds a white knight. You understand? So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and play. We're gonna jump around this video to kind of get into the history of Kevin McCall. I'm gonna play the intro because I think it'll help to kind of sum up what happened here.
Cole's bond was set at $9,500. He couldn't pay and spent the night in jail.
Damn.
Kevin Lamar McCall Jr., or simply Kevin McCall, born July 25th, 1985. Today's feature is the story of how a talented artist that came from nothing somehow found his way to success, and working with one of the biggest artists in the world, made millions with or for him, according to Chris Brown.
Thank you, K-Mac. I bought this with your money. I bought this with your money. I was thinking about giving you this, but you're a bitch. But I bought this with your money too.
Then literally blew it all time and again. And not just the money, but most importantly, the opportunity he's been seeking that most pursuing the same never get. The world was first made notice of Kevin McCall when Chris Brown released the song Deuces featuring Tyga and McCall back in 2010 that became highly successful on the Billboard charts, becoming the highest song on the charts for Brown the entire year, peaking at 14 and number 1 in hip-hop and R&B. It sold over 3 million copies in just the US alone, becoming a certified hit song, written and produced largely by Mccall himself. He not only wrote on it and produced it, he was actually featured on the song as well, giving the new artist the light that literally gave him his industry start. In this position alone, Mccall had done enough to finally say he was officially in the music business as a writer, producer, rapper, and collaborator with one of the industry's biggest artists that was on fire at the time. Playing his position correctly could have led to many more opportunities to at least make tons of money while giving you the best platform to showcase yourself as a singer or a rapper, or just play the background, keep collecting checks of the future work with Brown, and sail off into whatever sunset you choose. For a while, this plan was being executed as Brown and Mccall would collaborate a few more times with songs like Strip and No BS, both cracking the top 100, Strip going 2 times platinum, again featuring a rapping Mccall. 3 hit songs under his belt at least, where he was vocally all across them in some fashion, but all that wasn't enough to keep Mccall from crashing out literally in the end, making poor decision after poor decision, completely souring the relationship with Brown, who signed Mccall to his CBE label and got him his pretty much verbal deal with RCA. The two engaged in a social media and interview back and forth, with Brown promising to get him pretty much blackballed across the industry, and that's exactly what happened. Kevin Mccall hasn't released an official single since 2020, and since his 2012's Naked, nothing has charted or made relevance anywhere in music. The only time he's shown up since is in a messy breakup and child custody battle with Eva Marcille, or being arrested and making a fool of himself and the opportunities he was given. He could have been a huge artist in R&B or rap or behind the scenes, but for these reasons, that never happened. What did...
So, I'm going to explain this from the perspective of a light-skinned nigga, right? I'm going to tell you exactly why they fell out. They fell out because in the minds of dark-skinned niggas, they feel like whenever they deal with a light-skinned dude, they feel like to a certain degree, they're it's between doing you a favor, right? And it's almost like they feel like, yo, that's how it's supposed to be. Or basically, it's almost like they always try to make you, I don't want to say into their bitch and not like that, but it's this thing about amongst black men when it comes to light skinned dudes, especially if you have like the boyish, handsome, good looks thing going on and whatnot, they always feel as though they need to kind of try you. You know what I mean? Not only that, they always feel as though they're more valid, because you gotta think to yourself that, all right, in this situation, how do you fuck up the best opportunity that any artist could ever be given? First and foremost, you was living. He confirms this. You was living with your parents. You're not no established artist. All artists are owed money. All artists have to go through suing, and because what happens is basically things fall through the cracks, right? And for the most part, in order to make sure that the money is given, or got, you may just have to just go to court. That's what people normally do. Okay, boom. I didn't receive this payment and everything. I'm gonna send you an invoice for it. Okay, I'm not getting an invoice. Okay, we'll just do small claims court, or we'll just do court and everything, and we can settle it there. And it's normal. I forget what celebrity said that. Where like the celebrity says, I think it had something to do with music, right? It was another artist kind of, was telling a story, and it was saying, yeah. So I said, yeah, you still owe me for so and so, and he said, yo, all right, well, just take me to court, because the legalities, people, you can't speak on that on the fly. That has to be decided amongst lawyers, like the splits and stuff like that. That's how you handle stuff like that. But also relationships. When you have no fucking long-term thinking, you're not able to think, man, if I fall out with Chris Brown, he can blackball me. Damn, if I fall with Chris Brown, no more big checks. Wow, before Chris Brown, no one was fucking with me. The reason why he couldn't see that he was fucking up his opportunity was because of a lack of respect for the person giving it. Now, he could now his place in this story could have been that he was a part of helping Chris Brown. Now it's funny how to think about this now because Chris Brown's kind of been dominant since then. Now that I'm really thinking about it, like his run is crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's put out countless great records, has countless great features, all that shit. You know what I mean? So and for the most part, Chris Brown is for the most part the king of R&B. Shout out to Chris Brown, right? He couldn't have just been a part of that and been able to build his career from there, and he would have hit his second win, or just that sweet spot that artists hit once they put some records out and they get into what works for them. He had the whole world in his palms, but because your lack of respect, right? You're not taking care of your mental. A lot of dark skin people have anger issues. I mean, if you really think about it, I want you to think real hard. A lot of dark skin dudes dark skin people in general have emotional and anger issues, and for the most part, it never those issues, I guess you could say, perpetuate, or they become worse and worse, or become worse behaviors because no one wants to check them, or what they'll do is create a culture around them where the individual wants to avoid a confrontation because they know how you are. You know what, fuck it. Because even if someone's not afraid of you, they can feel like, I don't want to go through the trouble of arguing with you, or go through the trouble of dealing with you being difficult. Okay, so shout out to Stunted Growth. I think they really. I'm gonna just play a few of these things. I'm not gonna play all of each clip, but let's go to the first stunt.
Rapper from Los Angeles, California. At 13 years old and multi-layered in sports and in music. He wrote, produced, or was featured on some very important songs for Chris Brown that helped Brown survive crucial times for his career beginning the 2010s. Some fans even believe collaborating with Mccall was Brown's greatest collaborations in that the two seemed to be perfect for each other business-wise. Chris was the face and the vocals, and Mccall was the talent behind it that also could step out front and play lead role when his number was called. But that's where I think the problems began. Kevin has always felt like his own man and artist, so moving on Chris's time was difficult for him to do without his career moving in the direction he wanted. First off, he never wanted to be considered a rapper, but when he wrote the song Deuces, he included a verse with him rapping at the end. But when Chris got a hold of the song, that's the only part he kept of Mccall, who, as mentioned, he promised to keep him on. Mccall became known as that, and it didn't help that on Strip, he rapped once again. Chris wanted him to represent for the grown and sexy but thuggish side of R&B, but couldn't figure out the right time to develop that idea. As time went by and no movement on Mccall's career, he became frustrated and approached Brown, who by then had signed Mccall to his imprint CBE through RCA. After expressing his displeasure to Chris, Brown explained to him that he could only do so much for him, saying, quote, "I can put you out there, but I can't make the fans fall in love with you. You need to do that yourself." Mccall took that and began making his own moves, one a song with Keke Palmer, which Chris Brown didn't like, and let Kevin know just as much over the phone in what Kevin describes as a disrespectful tone and words. He decided to attack Chris Brown on social media, and a back and forth ensued, with street threats thrown around, and Chris literally telling him he's going to make sure the label or no one ever messes with him again. Right? That's exactly what happened. Stunt number 2, make another breezy.
If this nigga wrote all these songs that he claiming he wrote, why he ain't write no more? Oh wait.
Make Another Hove was coined by Jay-Z in response to Dame Dash and some fans claiming Dash made.
Alright, so we're going to stop it there because my speaker is ready to die. So let's fast forward to where Beloved is at now. You know what I'm saying? Which is, so there's McCrary. I'm sorry. Kevin McCall went viral because how can I say? He was on this podcast. Matter of fact, we're gonna find the name right now. I'm being a little content creator. We're gonna go ahead and go with Anton's reaction. So Anton reacted to us. So we're gonna find his reaction real quick. Where it is. Just wanna make sure that I'm on the right John.
did this part. What was we talking about? I need that bread. All this could have been, she could have paid for my lawyers. And so I just lost both of my daughters is in Atlanta right now. I don't know what the in Atlanta's scammers and a whole lot of other but my baby mamas is out there. Salute to them. They doing a great job with my daughters. I love y'all so much for that. Y'all so beautiful. It's in Atlanta. You don't got no. I lost rights to my daughter, my oldest.
So you lost all custody.
I had a trial. I'm all in my prison clothes. I'm like, why can't we just put this off? Like my child support is 2,000, right? Deuces ain't been popping since 2012. Why is my child support 2,000? So I had all this back pay. Then I sold my catalog for 500,000. I only got 250,000 out of it. 50,000, and then I have to pay all this child support. Why is my child support 2,000? I'm not Future or none of these like. So then I got the arrears, not retrograde. That's the little star shit.
Even if you still had your child in California, am I correct?
Yeah, I gotta prove all of that. They wasn't supposed to. I didn't have nothing on Marley. Marley, I gotta go and file a paternity, a petition for paternity. It's only 300, but watch this. I don't think it's a game, bro. No, this for when I poke. Don't walk up on me playing. Are you Team Breezy? Keep that on the internet. Okay. My bad, I went too far. All right, music.
Despite your flaws as a human being, you are one of the most talented individuals to ever grace the music industry.
We gonna get to that.
So
We gonna get to that.
Beer.
I don't know about ever. Okay.
Yeah, we gonna veer to that. But we gonna
You have a testimony.
Why
Tell you like
get in on this?
I witnessed it.
he finna be in here and
Why
tell
the
us
fuck
what's
I got
going
an
on.
EBT card? And
got
this
it.
is at
Hold on,
Breezy
cuz.
Bro and made 90 whatever the million, and it say KKKKK Mac. Can I get 25,000 for them four songs I owe you, bro? I just want to leave, bro.
Leading up to who he is.
I'm not even tripping though. I got an EBT card, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? I can't even get nothing, bro, man.
So now that I watch this again, I can see how unhinged he is. This guy's very unhinged. All right, very emotionally unstable. There was no reason to go in that direction. First and foremost, the records you wrote for Chris Brown were over 15 years ago. One of the reasons why he is this unsuccessful, first and foremost, it happened too early in your life. All right, that's 15, 16 years ago now. So the success happened too early, and you weren't able to take care of yourself and sustain yourself by yourself before you got that money. There was no reason why you should be broke now. Period. All right. Now he done went viral for having an emotional breakdown, right? Because he was on food stamps, and Anton makes a really good point about what stopped you from getting a fucking job. And he talked about how, Anton talked about his struggles, right? Not having money and having to do different things. Let me tell you something right now. The reason why I keep it, that's why I got faith. That's why I always tell you about all my problems, because I want y'all to be able to reflect with me when we go all the way up. Because we're going to do it together. We're going to go all the way up. But we're going to do it as a family. And what we're going to do is we're going to stick to our goals, all right? And keep refining our idea right from wrong on a regular basis every single freaking day. It never stops, okay? Growth is, you're always growing. But what I say before, emotional regulation. Ain't you there to promote something? I know you did to promote something, right? What you did to promote? How you get on food stamps? That's your goddamn business. A part of this culture encourages men to expose the weaker sides of themselves or just make themselves vulnerable. There is no value in men being vulnerable. It's one thing when vulnerability comes about from just a conversation, right? Or comes about naturally. He's asking another man from something. And listen, one of the beautiful things about being a man is a man can create opportunity for himself. When a man makes a decision, right? That's why your faith is important. Niggas, you have no faith. None. You don't believe in yourself. It's a self-belief. Him wanting that bread from Chris Brown has held him back all these years. All the man had to do was make a public apology. Instead, You beefing with the nigga, and he actually got blackballed and got his only shot in life taken away because you couldn't respect that light skinned nigga. I'm telling you right now, that had a lot to do with it. In his mind, he thinking this light skinned nigga can't tell him what to do. This light skinned nigga ain't gonna be controlling my life. I'm not moving on this light skinned nigga time. Fuck this nigga. I've experienced it. When you give into a nigga, right? You considerate of a nigga, and he show you that, yo, I don't got no consideration for you, no appreciation for you. Even now, even this conversation, how about shout out to Chris Brown? Because if not for Chris Breezy, you wouldn't be on that. There'll be no one. Kevin McCall wouldn't mean nothing. Or maybe you get an opportunity with Chris Brown is what fucked you up. Maybe had you gone the long way, pause, you would still be in the game. Not only that, a light-skinned ninja couldn't go in front of y'all and say this shit because, nigga, the last thing a light-skinned nigga want to do is play out any light-skinned stereotypes. If that nigga was to get emotional in front of that group of men, he'll never hear the end of it. This nigga has been on a downward spiral for the last some odd years. And again, laziness is evil. Laziness is the devil. He's also here because of his own motherfucking laziness. Why wasn't you able to get yourself popping again? Come on, bro.
I want to see the cry. I'm here. Say that. Say I can think I'm a man. That's fair, man.
Hey, I'm on EBT, bro. Hey.
Fellas, before we even always, under all circumstances, never, ever, ever lose frame. I don't care who you're around, especially when the cameras is on, especially in front of women. Do not think that it's always valid for you to do a crash out.
If you can talk about my career, then I can talk about your life.
I heard that he posted this on his Instagram too. That's crazy.
Did this?
Hold it.
What was we talking about? I need that bread. All this could have been, she could have.
He posted this on his Instagram. One of the greatest broke nigga ploys is waiting on daddy. It's another nigga that got daddy issues, bro. Entitlement. He think that for the most part, like I said before, this nigga was so entitled that he think he's entitled to perfect business and money coming on time. And in another video, I know I said I was going to go. Well, I didn't tell you, but I know I need to go, right? In another video, he talks about getting that first check. So this wasn't a situation where this man ain't make no money, man. You know what I'm saying? So he was on something called Blew a Bag on BET, right? So he's going to describe his first big check.
See, your songwriter kept making fill out some, paperwork for it sometimes. Leave them alone because I like my women top. But I was always a student athlete. So after college football, I came out here. I didn't have no workers experience. It was hard for me to get a job. So, I have to
Here we go, right. I'm sorry, right.
The song is doing real good. We about to do the video. I only got a check for $10,000 at that time. So, you know what I did with it.
So off rip, he got a $10,000 check back in 2009. 10 racks back then for someone who don't got a bunch of bills is a good amount of money that can last you for a couple of months. In terms of, because it's assuming that your ass got a job, right? And you understand, artists have to wait about a year or two to get paid from shit a lot of times. It may come before that, but for the most part, most artists have to wait about 6 months to a year, if not 2 years sometimes, to get paid. And sometimes it takes legal action because, again, this is all contract work where someone has to issue these payments. So shit falls through the cracks. It's a normal thing, right? And another thing, too, is representation. He didn't have anyone representing him. And also, the image. He didn't protect his image, right? And this is another issue with how men who are influenced by women, right? And people not bring you to the responsibilities of a man. What makes you a man? What makes you actually masculine? He didn't have them same conversations growing up. Because somebody failed this brother right here. You understand me? Check us out.
That I spent that up in no day. Tried to get away with some dumb shit. But when I finally got a check from Deuces that was over 6 figures, I opened that mug up. It was like, I got the mail, like I always used to. I used to write songs in my grandmother's driveway. I'm sitting in my auntie's Jaguar, because I didn't have my own car at the time. And so since I used to be pulling up with the celebrities, the best I could do was my supposed rich auntie at the time. She was a nurse. I was in her car. So got the check, opened it with my cousin, and I ain't never seen nothing over $10,000 in my life. So when I saw 100 and something thousand, I looked at my cousin, I just closed it, because I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm in the hood, I need to start hiding this shit. Immediately, I got scared. I ain't even get happy. I'm like, where I'm gonna put this shit?
Oh, that's what I said. All right, so you went from that to Chris Brown just wilding you up, bro. Hold on, where the shit at, man? Hold on, man. No. Yo, Chris Brown was wilding this nigga up, bro. Where is that?
Who is it between Prince and Michael Jackson? They're two different things.
Right.
You can't.
My bad, bro.
Why Chris Brown and Kevin Mccall stopped working together. Did you know Chris Brown and Kevin Mccall went from being music brothers to public enemies? Let's rewind. Kevin Mccall helped Chris Brown make hits like Deuces and Strip. He was even signed under Chris's label. Things looked great, until the money and contracts got messy. McCall claimed he was being cheated out of royalties, while Chris said Kevin was just being ungrateful. Then it exploded online. Chris called him a bottom feeder. Kevin fired back saying Chris was fake and controlling, and at one point even made threats that shocked fans. Since then, they've never worked together again. Chris Brown's career kept soaring, while Kevin controversy and legal troubles. Crazy how one of Chris's biggest collaborators became one of his loudest rivals.
I'm trying to find the one where he wound him up, man, but it's cool. It's cool. My shit dying. It's all right. Fuck it. You know, we came this far. Fuck it. Nah, fuck it. I gotta play this shit real quick. Chris wild the nigga up real quick, man. Hold on.
Jay-Z, also referred to Hov.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Oh, Christ. It's not what I need right now. Come on now. Stop being. Come on now. Come on, man. Goodness fucking gracious.
A rapper, you made me. Now that I left, make another me if you're that important to who I am. During the feud with Chris Brown, Mccall and his fans did the same by claiming Kevin was the ghost behind the writings of Chris's best songs in their minds, so by asking him, why hasn't he made a hit since Brown and RCA disconnected their ties? Kevin Mccall would in fact never make a song of his own that came anywhere to the Billboard charts as a lead singer, writer, nor feature. 2012, while he was unofficially signed to RCA, his first and last placement. I say
My bad, right here.
by Jay-Z.
Nigga wrote all these songs that he claiming he wrote. Why he ain't write no more? Oh wait.
Make Another Hov was coined by Jay-Z in response to Dame Dash and some fans claiming Dash made Jay-Z also referred to Hov, who he became, leading to Jay responding by saying, well, since you made me, now that I left, make another me if you're that important.
I can't see it right now. Nah, fuck that. I'm not giving up. I wanted to play the video where Chris is wilding the nigga up. Hold on. Nah, son. Hold on, man. When you saw the cars and all that. Hold on, man. I know I'm being a sloppy content creator. Pause. Hold on, man. It must be in this video. Hold on. No, I'm not giving up. He showed the cars and said, I bought this with your money? Oh, here we go. Boom. There we go. My bad. I'm good. Listen.
I just woke up and I thought about something. If this nigga wrote all these songs that he claiming he wrote, why he ain't write no more?
You wanna fight?
This is just one part of my house. This is life before K-Mac and life after K-Mac. Man, I'm stop playing with this nigga. He's a bitch. Thank you, K-Mac. I bought this with your money. I bought this with your money.
Damn. God damn, nigga. Those all pussy mobiles. God damn, nigga. First of all, you gotta feel bad getting wild up with a nigga that got his hair done like this. Hold on. You see how Chris got his hair done? For a light-skinned nigga, getting wild, no, I'm sorry, for a dark-skinned nigga, getting wild up by a light-skinned nigga that actually got his hair and like that. I don't know what to call this shit. This is the Bruno Mars / Little Richard. By the way, that shit gotta hurt. You know what I mean? Because again, dark-skinned niggas really feel as though they superior. They deserve more from life. And basically they deserve to have whatever you have. All right? And they don't gotta say thank you. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. Reverse
I
colorism.
bought this with your money.
Oof.
I bought this with your money.
Only thing
I was
missing was the
thinking about
Leah.
giving you this, but you're a bitch. But I bought this with your money too. I bought that with your money. That's the only one on the West Coast.
Damn.
Oh, I bought that one with your money too.
Oof.
I took a shit and then I bought this car. He's looking at you so disappointed, bro. You look.
Not him with the Michael poster. He's saying Michael disappointed you, bro. What you gonna do about that? He said the king of pop said you not popping. God damn it.
Whack as fuck.
You whack as fuck.
Change up. I got you this. Do your thing. Shout out to Ray J. We got you what's coming, K-Man.
Yo, the crowd was crazy.
I just left rehearsal getting ready for this tour. And I just thought I should just keep being petty. So you know what I did? I went and bought a car. Not for K-Mac, but I bought one. Yeah, I just got mad. I was like, these niggas, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to just keep using your money, K-Mac. I'm going to keep using your money.
No, I mean he's being facetious and everything. You know, he doesn't actually mean it's really K-Mac's money, or I'm not calling K-Mac, Kevin McCall's money, right? But anywho, that man not being able to have the long-term thinking, and for the most part, it's proven. I'm not going to get into his court battles and whatnot. That man has gotten locked up for owing child support. That man's been physical altercations, and again. He threatened. One of the reasons why Chris Brown's wilding up is because he threatened the nigga. One thing you don't do to niggas with paper and stats is that you don't make threats online, my nigga. You understand me? But anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it there. We're done.
Getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
Man, subscribe to the channel, man. Love y'all, man. Y'all be. Oh damn, what's my thing at? Anyway, all right, we out. Peace. Oh shit.